this. Look at this place. It's amazing. Hi everyone, so today I am in Recife, which is one of the capitals of a state here, Pernambuco, in the northeast of the country. And I came to visit a pottery kind of workshop. So this is the Francisco Brennand pottery workshop. And then in the afternoon I'm going to visit the Instituto Ricardo Brennand, which is, I guess, people from the same family. And this place here is like, I just arrived, but it's really magical. Right when you are arriving, like maybe 5 minutes before arriving, you start going through like a dirt road in the middle of the forest. I was able to see some little pigs and a big pig and a piglet coming here, and the smell of the forest is just amazing. And there's this huge estate here. They have like a cafe, which is where I am right now, that has that countryside feeling. So I'm just gonna have something to eat here real quick. I will show you like what I got. I got cajá juice. Cajá is a typical fruit from here. Let's try it. It looks like this. It reminds me of like pineapple, but not quite. It's really interesting. Right, so I just left the restaurant. It's kind of like a cafeteria with a restaurant and a gift shop, so you can buy some ceramics in there if you like it. Like there are some bottles, some trays, some things like that. Really, really nice, really interesting. And now I just came to the actual kind of open air museum, I think. I think they have some pieces that are exhibited in a closed compound as well. You need to wear this little tag. Where is it? This little tag here around the area, and it costs 30 reais to come in, so it's going to be like around what, $6 I think. And then also you need to get the Uber to get here because you can't really come here without a car. So Francisco Brennand was an artist from this area here, so he was a painter, a sculptor, and a ceramist. And one of his international artworks you can see in Miami. He kind of did the tiles right on the side of the Bacardi headquarters in Miami. So it's like some white and blue tiles that you can see on the building. He died in, I think, 2017. And he was very famous here. He's one of our kind of famous artists that maybe not many people know outside, just like Bully Max. So if you've seen that video, I'm gonna link this here. Bully Max is also one of our international renowned artists that maybe you haven't heard of. So if you're interested in like knowing a little bit more about Brazilian artwork, check that video out. But for now, let's not waste any more time and let's just get on with the museum. So this area here used to be like an old family kind of a ceramic factory in 1917. And then Francisco Brennand, which is the artist with all of these artwork you see around, he was born in 27, and initially he didn't really want to have anything to do with ceramics, but after going to France and meeting people like Dali, Picasso, and knowing that some of them had worked with ceramics, he decided to give it a go, and that's when he kind of decided that indeed he liked it. So he transformed the ceramics factory into his workshop, and nowadays most of his work is settled here. So I am now at the kind of plaza that was designed by Burle Marx. That is the one that I mentioned in the beginning. It's a very pretty, very peaceful place to be. The weather is amazing today. It's very hot, but because of like all of the greenery and the water, it has a fresh breeze on us. So it's a very nice place. So there are some kind of staff that they just stay around and they give you a little bit of an explanation about the spaces. So she was telling me like that first space we saw is a lot to do with the genesis and the creation and the beginning of times, and this is supposed to be like representing the Eden garden. So there is kind of like a story to be told in each of the spaces, so you can just come and see all of his work in here, and then maybe buy some of the ceramics if you want. But yeah, this is just like an amazing place to come and to just have like a quiet day and a peaceful time and really just enjoy nature, the weather, the beautiful places and sculptures around here. So they also have like an internal gallery with some of his smaller pieces as well as the paintings that you see here. You can clearly tell the indigenous influence, like maybe even from like the Mesoamerica civilization, like Incas and Mayas. I think it's clear. I spoke to the lady that works here and she said personally she never found any quote or anything like that of him saying that he does indeed took inspiration from them, but by the style of his art you can definitely see that there is some indigenous influence in the way he does his work. And I absolutely loved like the paintings. I'm just seeing them now because they're so very colorful. His sculptures are very nice, but they are, I don't know if it's because it's down out in the weather or if it's just the way it's intended to be, but they are very monotone, like monochromatic, in a way that like they have these kind of very earth-like colors. Maybe it's on purpose because he had like a very strong relationship with clay and the nature and all of that. But the artwork, like the paintings, they are completely different. They're so very colorful and it's very beautiful in here. So I think it's worth coming inside the building, the Academia building, and just taking a look at those as well. We are now at the last kind of temples. They call it temples here, like it's the big areas that he kind of created as a theme. And this one is known as the Sacrifice Temple. And it is kind of like in honor to the indigenous people in Mesoamerica that were killed by the Spanish conquistadores. So you will see like representations of, they're supposed to be indigenous in cages, and there's a lot of things like around the conquistadores and kind of a death type of thing. It's kind of heavy, but I guess it's important to talk about it and to represent it. I'm on my way out, but before we go, I just wanted to show you the Suriname cherry tree here. Behind me you can see some kind of red spots throughout. Most of it has fallen on the floor, but just in case you're curious and you want to see some tropical fruits, there it is. So now let's go to Instituto Ricardo Brennand. I am now here at Instituto Ricardo Brennand, which is at the other side of the river from the workshop we just been to this morning. And despite being just across the river, there is no way of crossing, so you need to get a Uber, kind of cross through the nearest bridge and get here. A tip for you, if you do go to the workshop, you might want to kind of agree with the taxi or the Uber person that takes you there to pick you up in like a couple hours or something, because it might be a little bit tough for you to get transportation from there. It took me a while to be able to get there. Now I'm going to go inside the Instituto Brennand. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that and what is the connection between the two of them. So we are now inside the Instituto Ricardo Brennand, and as the name says, he is a cousin to Francisco Brennand, which is the guy from the workshop we saw. He actually was alive until 2020 and he died of COVID complications, unfortunately, but he was a businessman and he enjoyed collecting arts. So he kind of built this place to put all of his arts that he collected throughout his life at display, and now it is kind of a museum. So you have arts from all over, from Asia, from Europe, from Brazil, from everywhere, as well as just some nice places. There are some animals that you can see here as well, and the place is really nice. It's really beautiful. The price to come in is 50 reais, so it's like around $10. They are open from Tuesdays to Sundays, I think, so they're closed on Mondays and only in the afternoon. So they open at 1 and they close at 5, but the last entrance is at 4:30, and they're only taking card payments, so make sure to have a working card with you, even though I'm pretty sure most of you will. I would maybe suggest, if you come, do both of the tours, or maybe try and get like an actual tour for both of these places, because they are right next to each other and they are far from the other attractions in the city. So it might be like worth to take a day to come and do these two. I don't know how much money these cost. It's just like, and honestly, just the architecture, it's like mind-blowing. It is really somewhere that you should try and come if you're ever visiting Recife. I am now inside like what I believe is one of the most expensive items, which is some tapestry by a guy named Franz Post. He apparently is like a Dutch, because this region here, Recife and the surroundings, suffered Dutch invasions in the 1700s, and there is a lot of Dutch influence in here, names, food, architecture. But these here depicts how the region was back in colonial times, and as well with like the Dutch influence, so it mixes both of them, so you can come and see that. And I was wrong, it wasn't only tapestry, it's like pretty much all the items you can think of. Like you have a globe, you have kind of china, you have statues, you have paintings, you have literally everything you can think of. And I think the common thread between all of them is the Dutch invasions in what was the Portuguese colony, Brazil, in the 1630s. So from 1630 to 1654, this region here stayed under control of the Dutch, and especially like Nassau, which you might know is like the most famous Dutch navigator, I would say. He was kind of the ruler for like 6 years during that time. I don't remember exactly when. There was a lot of Dutch culture and artifacts that were brought in or built here, and you can really see that, and this is a collection that shows all of that. So if you're interested, honestly, if you didn't have a chance to go to Europe and you want to see a little bit of European art, this is a pretty good place for you to come and visit, honestly. It's been 2 hours that I've been inside this museum, and I was just going to film like a couple of spoken videos, but I found like just so many interesting things that I wanted to share. I hope the video is not too long, but I am really dumbfounded by how amazing this place is. It's such a hidden gem. I didn't know it existed. I just like searched for places to come. I'm getting to the last place here, which is kind of a little castle, and I think it's like the last kind of gallery in the museum. So I'm gonna take a look at that, and I will let you know how it looks like. Look at this. Look at this place. It is amazing. Guys, looking from the outside, you cannot tell it is this big and imponent. Look at this here. Isn't it cool? I would not expect to see something like this in Brazil. Actually, it feels like I am in a castle in Europe or something like that. It's just amazing. I am just sad that not everything that I'm filming is going to be able to make it to the video, because otherwise we need to be watching like, I don't know, a 2-hour, 3-hour video of all the stuff that is here. Is just amazing. So unfortunately, we won't be able to see everything that I am filming. So the Ricardo Brennand Institute has been elected the best museum of South America 3 times by TripAdvisor, and also one of the 18 best museums in the world. And I've been there, I just came out, and it's absolutely worth it. Just make sure you come and check this. It's honestly, if you're in Recife, it's mind-blowing. Guys, that's it for this video. I just like really enjoyed it. I think if you are in Recife, you must come here. And if you want to come into Recife, check out these other videos here that I've done about the city. Or if it is not there yet, check out whatever YouTube thinks you will like the most. I'll see you soon. Bye.